Shy Girl, dumbbell only, 30-minute, full body, workout split, day 1. If you haven't seen the intro video yet, please watch that video before you watch the day 1 video because it's gonna tell you how to do things correctly. If you're not doing it correctly, you're not gonna get the results you want and it's not gonna be my fault, okay? So please, please, please watch the intro video in its entirety before you watch this one. Now, today we are going to do 4 compound exercises and we're going to be supersetting the upper body and the lower body exercises, and then I'm gonna throw in 2 bonus isolation exercises. The reason why we're doing it like this, I explained it a little bit in the first video, but it's because we want to keep it as simple as possible so that the odds that you actually get it done increase. Because in the game of true long-term physique changes, consistency trumps all. And we're going to be supersetting for the sake of time. So if you don't know what a superset is, it's when you do 2 exercises back to back without resting. You rest after completing the exercises. So the first superset we're going to be doing today is hip thrust and shoulder press. I'm gonna use a 25-pound dumbbell. Now the bench that I have, it's not the ideal height, so you're gonna see I'm kind of gonna have to like scramble to get myself up here. But once I'm up, I'm up. And then this is the hip thrust. You go as low as you can go, then you squeeze your butt cheeks at the top. My feet are about hip width apart, and my knees are at about a 90-degree angle. If you're feeling it too much in your quads, move your feet further from your butt. Ooh. And if you're feeling it too much in your hammies, bring your feet closer to your butt until you find that sweet spot where it's all glute. Squeeze, really focus all of your attention on your glute. I even like to close my eyes sometimes. Now, 25 pounds, as you saw, it was a little bit too light for me. So I'm gonna add another 25. On my hips to see if that helps. Now, I've been lifting for quite some time. That still wasn't challenging enough for me. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do a single leg hip thrust. As a beginner, maybe save the single leg hip thrust for a little bit further down the line. So for the single leg, I'm gonna move my working leg to the middle. I'm gonna do my weakest leg first. My left leg always tends to be my weaker leg. And I'm going to do as many as I can. Now we're talking. Okay, I got 10. Did you notice how my last 2 reps were so slow? I was still giving it my all, but I just wasn't able to complete them as quickly. That's how you know that you're training hard enough and close enough to failure. So when you're supersetting, you're not gonna rest. I'm gonna go straight from my single leg hip thrust. Oh, I have to do my other leg, hold on. Let me do 10. Okay, straight into shoulder press. Now guys, if you don't have a bench, you don't need to use it. You can do your shoulder press sitting on the edge of your couch. You can do your single leg hip thrusts on the edge of your couch. You can do your single leg hip thrust on the floor, okay? So for shoulder press, holy shit. And with these supersets, you can do it one of two ways. You can rest for 30 seconds to 60 seconds before you do the next set, or you can jump right back into the next set if you want to. That was really exhausting for me. But when you saw me doing those shoulder presses, you didn't see me doing half reps. I went all the way down and all the way back up. You didn't see me rushing the negative. So the negative is the down portion of the movement. You didn't see me go like this. No. You're controlling all the way down, letting the dumbbells touch your shoulders, pausing for half a second at the bottom, and then pushing back up again. Notice how I had my feet flat on the floor. When you drive through your feet, you're stronger. Notice how my bench has a slight incline, and notice how I'm not, when you start getting tired, don't let your shoulders break form. Keep both shoulders nice and, what would you call this, compressed, depressed, and keep that form good. You stop the set when your weak arm starts to not be able to lift it up anymore. So that was the first superset. I'm gonna recommend you do the first superset 2 to 3 times. Now, as a beginner, you could do it once. It's about being consistent. If the first week all you can do is 1 set, I'm totally fine with it. Maybe do 2 sets the following weekend. I would like for you to stick to 3 sets. I think that's plenty. You could do more if you wanted to or if you had enough time, but 3 genuinely, guys, is plenty. And what's dope about the hip thrust is it emphasizes your glutes, but your quads and your hamstrings are also working. So that's a full lower body exercise. And with the shoulder press, you're aiming to feel it mostly in your shoulders, but your triceps are working too. And that leads me into the next superset. Okay, now we're gonna do Bulgarian split squats and dumbbell bent over rows. Now, Bulgarian split squats can be a little tricky. So if you're super duper beginner and you literally cannot do them yet, don't worry about it. I'm gonna show you other options, but this is how you do a Bulgarian split squat. I'm gonna hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand from my working foot. My back leg is gonna be just there for support, for balance. I'm trying not to push out of my back leg. And all you're gonna do is lunge, sink into this front hip, push out of the front leg. Notice how I'm controlling that negative, coming down nice and slow, pausing at the bottom before I push out again. Let's see how many reps I can get. Not rushing it. And I'm gonna show you what a hard set looks like. Trying not to pause at the top, no matter how badly I want to. That's 8. I think I got more. And 10. Holy tatas. So I got 10 with the 25-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna write that in my notes. I'm gonna do the same on the other leg. If you're doing unilateral exercises, both sides have to match each other. Because if I consistently do more on my right leg, eventually my right leg's gonna get way stronger than my left. Okay, straight, literally look how hard this is, bro. I can't even lie. So if that feels too hard, here's what you can do. Hold on to something, whether it's the wall or the back of a chair. You can also just do split squats, where you assume the split stance, but both legs are on the floor, and you squat like that. That's a split squat. I can push out of your hands if you need to, if you're still learning. Because, dude, split squats can be really difficult when you're first starting out, man. So if those feel really hard, don't worry about it, completely normal. Dumbbell bent over rows. Again, this is a bit more advanced exercise as well. So again, I'll show alternatives. In order to do the dumbbell bent over row, you're gonna assume a bent over position. You're gonna bend your knees slightly. If you've ever seen an RDL, it almost looks like I'm doing an RDL right now. The only difference is you're gonna maintain this position the entire time. You're gonna hold the dumbbells and you're gonna row. Notice how I'm maintaining that bent over position. I'm not coming up like this, right? Let's see how many I get. Dumbbell to chest. Getting the full stretch at the bottom. I got a couple more in me. And I got 9. Now, if that feels too difficult, you can also lay the bench down and you can do single arm rows like this. This is a great option too. Get that stretch, drive through the elbow. So there's another option for you. And again, I'm gonna write down, I did about 9 reps with 20 pounds. For my rows, I'm gonna do 3 more sets of that superset. And that's the full workout. I'm literally pooped. I only did 1 set of each superset with you. Imagine doing 3 sets of each superset. And then if you get to the end of your workout and you would like to isolate some more muscles a little bit better, I'm gonna throw in some dumbbell skull crushers for you and some dumbbell lateral raises. So I like to do my lateral raises sitting down, but you can do them standing up as well. Let's see how many I get. Again, look how I'm slowly controlling the negative. There's a light bend in my elbows. I'm not using momentum to fling the weight. I'm doing it nice and controlled. And I went close to failure. I don't know how many reps that was. And then let's finish off with the skull crushers. So for these puppies, you can lie down on the floor. I'm gonna lie down on this bench. Shoot your hands into the air. You're gonna bend your elbows to lower the dumbbell onto your skull. That's why they're called skull crushers. And let's see how many I get. 2. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. I'm gonna do 20. Nice. I probably could go up in weight because I have no business doing 20 reps of anything. So I'd probably go up to the 20 pounders or maybe a 17.5 if I had a 17.5 in my gym. But guys, that's the full workout for workout 1. So let's recap. You're gonna superset hip thrusts with shoulder press. You're gonna superset Bulgarian split squats or split squats with some type of bent over row. And then as a bonus, if you'd like to throw in some more isolation work for your upper body just because you want that little extra oomph, you're gonna superset the skull crushers with lateral raises. This is a full body exercise. You're training your back, your biceps, your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, your glutes, your hammies, your quads, your core. You're training everything. Now tune in to the next video to see what your second day of exercises are gonna be. I recommend doing this exercise Tuesdays and Thursdays, or just have some type of buffer between them so you can properly recover between them and you can actually hit it hard every session. And just make sure you're keeping track of your notes. And like I said in the first video, do this for the next year. Always constantly focusing on training as hard as you possibly can and going up in strength, going up in weight, going up in repetitions, and you're gonna go very far. You're going to make a lot of gains in your full body, okay? I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.